Oh, are you ready? Because I can see you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I was gonna pop it on quickly, Dev. I'm like, why is it chroma key and everything? So weird.
Boom. I think we are live, or we should be popping up live any second now. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's time for this week's Tales from the Crypto. Mo Knows is back in the house. What's up, Mo? How are you feeling after your procedure?
Oh man, we are back. I'd like to say better than ever. I know we planned on doing a funeral for Mr. Bones today, maybe unveiling the beautiful face, my beautiful face. But unfortunately, still recovering. As you can tell, my lisp is worse than it ever has been.
I thought that was just a New York accent.
Some of it is the way I say certain words, but now it's like trying to get used to talking with the shit in my mouth. Um, yeah, I'm alive. They told me 2 weeks of recovery time, so I'm on about 10 days now, 11 days.
Oh, nice.
No pain, but man, like it's uncomfortable. Like
I can
things I got
imagine.
used to, which is like chewing normally and whatever, even though like my teeth were cracked and all fucked up towards the end, especially when I started doing work, but holy shit, man. It's a whole new world, but yeah, other than that, man, recovering. They call me the lunatic at the dentist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're walking in the other day, and the girl called me, and she's like, "Oh, so you're the lunatic? What the hell does that mean?" She's like, "You had 17 teeth pulled out while you were awake."
Oof.
I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's insane."
That is
So now they all give
insane.
me like funny looks when I walk around.
Sheesh, that's crazy. 17 teeth pulled while awake. Yeah, I'd had them put me to sleep for that. I've had a couple of teeth pulled before in my days, and they hurt, and they take a while to heal too. I can't
I'm
imagine
a control
17 of
freak,
them.
man.
Sheesh.
I don't like being put to sleep,
Oh
and that
yeah,
shit doesn't really work on me anyway.
anesthesia is kind of dangerous, so I don't blame you. Well, shout out to all the homies that are in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We got Viper active first in the chat today. My homie Woody is here. What's up, Woody? Alejandro is here with the Batman badge. Been a member of the channel for over 3 years. What's up? Let me know. I know you guys are the VV homies. Did y'all go for that drop this week? I didn't end up streaming it, but it was Blackpink, as I think their name, a super popular Korean band. I don't know if it did well or not. I couldn't spend 15 gems on that one. I saw the odds of getting anything good, and I was like, just in the carpool line at school. I know how that feels. I was in the carpool line earlier today. Absolutely. We got news now. Marijuana in the house says, what happened to Mo? Mo, back in the day, went through a windshield and busted up his face a little bit, so he had to get some surgery on his mouth. Is that a pretty good synopsis, Mo?
That's perfect. Yeah, face first through a windshield. They tried to repair everything. Found out 7 years later it was a mistake. They should have ripped them to begin with, and here we are.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. But my kid wanted to tell me he's gonna go check the mail. He's been buying stuff on Temu, dude. Like I gave him a cash app. Now he's buying stuff on Temu. He gets good deals. I'm not gonna lie. They hate me at the dentist. My teeth are bad. I've had teeth pulled. It sucks. Yeah, I've got to get some work done myself. I've got a plan, a treatment plan. I haven't started. I got to go to that. It's that first step. I got to take that first step, and then it'll be all uphill from there. All right, guys, we got.
Big one.
What's up?
Real quick, that's what they have. So I said it's a big. Just take the first step.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, my family dentist, my childhood dentist, right?
Yeah.
He used to get so mad at me. Like I had an overbite because I fucking went face first over my handlebars when I was a kid, and I
Damn.
like fucking ate the pavement, right? So my two front teeth got pushed up into like my gums. I need to pull them down. So when the adult teeth came in, they were kind of like a little bit of an angle going out, right?
Right.
But other than that, like I never had a cavity, never had any problems with my teeth. And my dentist used to get pissed. He'd be like, "Dude, he's like one day I'm gonna get you, Joe." He's like, "I'm gonna get money out of you some way." He was passed away by the time I had my car accident and shit, so he never really got the money.
Dang, you
But
would have got a lot too, because you had some real work
the
done after
dentist and the
that.
orthodontist cleaned up on my ass, bro.
Right.
17 grand after my car accident. Between the surgeries, I had to get all these different appliances. My jaw collapsed. I had to have like a retainer with a crank on it,
Oh my goodness.
and I had to wear this thing and crank it 3 times a day. And what would happen is like my jaw would fucking like, and my teeth would snap and crack into place. But it was so bad.
Oh, that sounds horrible. That's creepy.
Yeah,
That's good for this
I had
show.
to do all
Tales from
that.
Crypto. Some creepy stories right there. Cause just thinking about that
Yep.
makes my mouth feel weird.
Yeah, but anyway, like I said, they never got a fucking penny out of me my whole life growing up, and now 17K plus 15K at 32K.
Oof. making up for lost time for sure. All right, y'all, this is our Tuesday Tales from the Crypto show that we try to do every Tuesday at 5 p.m. The five topics we cover on this show is paranormal activity is the first one. Then we talk a little bit about sports, then U.S. politics, and then we get into what's going on in crypto. Oh, and I'm sorry, Web3 gaming. Mo always has a good Web3 game for us to highlight, which we have a good one for today too. And then the last topic is crypto and NFTs. So our first topic is paranormal activity. There wasn't really a whole lot going on this week. However, there is a new video that just came out, and it was dropped by the U.S. military or the U.S. government. So whenever it comes like officially from America, I feel like that has a little bit more meaning to it, that you know it's actually real. And it looks a lot like, let me get it pulled up right here. Let's see that, and then we'll get rid of not that, but something else. All right. Here we go. I'm trying to find this. There we go. Okay. So it looks a lot like the Tic Tac video, which came out in 2018 or 2019. It was a big deal. This is from the same area. I'm trying to bring it up. Let's see here. I didn't have this completely ready like I thought I did. And I don't
We had a week off, chat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Getting back into the swing of things.
Oh, crap. Yeah, and I don't have... oh, there we go. Pull this down a little bit so that you guys can see us. Yeah, I don't have DaVinci Resolve to make my own videos like I usually do, so we're just going to do it this way. And I'll put it up here so you can see it a little bit better. This is a new video that just came out, and it was dropped by the USS... I can't remember the name of the ship, but it'll say it on there. An actual naval ship. Let's go. So on this video that I'm showing you right here, I've got it queued up to the part that I want to watch, but before that they were talking about the USS Nimitz video and another video. So this is like the third video that's coming out from the Navy that kind of shows the same type of UFO, which makes it seem like it could be actually legit. There might not be sound for some reason. That don't make sense. There should be sound, but nope, there's not sound. So, it's alright. He ain't talking about nothing anyway. I'll show you the video once it starts here. So it's the USS Jackson is the name of this ship. I'm assuming that's probably in the Navy, right? And this was 2023. It just came out. They're going to show it better after he gets done yapping. Here we go. And it did have some volume to it where the guy operating it is talking a little bit about what he's seeing, basically saying that he doesn't know what it is. I'll link to the videos down in the description as always, so you guys can check it out yourself. But it has that same, the same look as that Tic Tac UFO, and I mean, I don't know what it could possibly be. Sometimes you can see a little bit of the sunlight like glimmering on it, so you can tell that it's actually a metal object that's there in the sky. And a lot of people are kind of excited about it. It came off the coast of Southern California, I believe, which is the same place as those other two videos. So this seems to be like a hot spot of UFO videos, so much so that even the government themselves is catching them on video and releasing that for people to see. So I don't know, Bo, are you impressed by this new video they released?
I know Shania Twain said that don't impress me much, but that impresses me a lot. Yeah. I've been impressed. Listen, between videos like that, you know, the one we watched I think multiple times with like the orbs going in that, like the jet stream at that royal thing overseas. They always just seem to have the same you know, ammo when they get recorded, when people describe them, whatever. And for me personally, the ones that we saw during the wildfires, which were captured live on the news, tells me everything. Again, it's government can record it, but that's government shit. That's weather manipulation devices. Why would they fly into fires and out of fires? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is strange.
Like, it's the only thing that makes sense. The same exact way, you know?
And so, you know, I agree with you, but here's my question. Why wouldn't Trump, of all people, like, release that information, tell us what's going on?
Because he knows, just like the rest of us. If we actually do know that World War III is, not World War III, but like an alien invasion's coming, which could be like World War III, people would go nuts. People would just lose their fucking minds, like more than they already have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I think, as much as Trump probably would want to blow up, like, oh, I'm going to tell everybody everything, I still just think like something like that. He's probably like, yeah, you know what? I can't have the country, you know, preparing for an alien invasion. Because what would that look like? We would have like no order, no law. People would just be like, well, fuck you, bro. Aliens are coming.
And people
Like
would be
everything we
freaking
know.
out. Whew, people would go
Yeah.
crazy. I think people would
That's
be
what I mean.
buying everything from the store. The shelves would be empty. Shout out to OG Rexavelli. Carter's in the chat. What's up, Rexavelli? We're having our weekly.
But that's the
Tales
good
and Crypto
side of it.
show.
What about the people that can't afford it? They're going to
Right.
be robbing people and stealing shit, right? So it just creates more, you know, commotion and shit that we don't need. So
All right, so I have a different theory about why Trump isn't telling us about the aliens. And here's my theory. It's because Elon Musk is an alien, and he's got control over Trump. Who else is Trump going to let be in the office during his, like, interviews and standing over him while he's sitting at the desk and answering all the questions like he's the boss? And, all right, before you respond to that, let me give you one little bit of proof here. I don't know if you remember this, him saying this on the Joe Rogan podcast. Hopefully this has sound to it, but here we go. Oh, yeah, for some reason, whenever I do Zoom, my sound doesn't work anymore. That sucks. I'm not used to not making my own videos. Basically what he says here, and he says it jokingly, but I don't know if he's basically joking. Here's the exact quote. I'm an alien, and I keep telling people that I'm an alien, but they don't believe me. I'm just trying to get back to my home planet. Like, that's the exact quote. So, is it possible? What do you think? Is Elon Musk an alien?
he very well could be, but here's why I think not. If you go back and look at like ancient history and all the origin stories of the tales that these civilizations tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all have in common, other than like the whole, the serpent god that comes in on a raft of, flying snake. Besides that, what they all have in common is these people, well, this person comes, teaches, and then disappears with the promise to return. They all had that in common. Like, it's just one dude that came rolling in for a short period of time. They worship this fucking guy, and he's like, yep, I'll be right back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So until Elon disappears...
He's trying to go to Mars.
Well, that's what I mean. So, if he disappears, maybe that's what we'll find out, but...
Shout out to Dr. Strange is in the chat. What's up, Doc? We were talking about our paranormal topic today. We were showing that new UFO video that was released, and then I was giving my own personal theory that Elon Musk... It's not even a theory. He admits it himself. I'm an alien, and I keep trying to tell people, what if he really is an alien? And at the end, he's just like, I kept telling y'all I was a freaking alien, and
yeah,
nobody
he's like, I wasn't lying,
There you go. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. What's up, Exid? Good to see you in the chat. We're getting ready to talk about our sports topic of the day. Not a lot going on in the sports world, but there's a lot going on in the NBA, which is my favorite. Thanks for hanging out with us, X. And what's going on right now in the NBA is the playoffs are about to start. NBA playoffs, they don't have the full bracket yet, but they do have most of it. I think it's the 7 and 8th, 9, 10 seeds that haven't been set yet. The Pacers, Indiana Pacers, are number 4 seed after last year. They did really good. Got to the Final Four, I think, last year? Maybe it was I think they got to the Final Four and got beat in the game before going to the championship. But a lot of people, including my son, think it's going to be the Lakers now that they've got Luka Doncic and LeBron James. I think LeBron's like 40 years old now. People are wondering if it's going to be his last year or not. Then you got the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. He had a game the other day where he scored 30 points, had over 20 rebounds, and over 20 assists. It's like never been done before. So I don't know, Mo. You paying attention to the playoffs? So who do you think's gonna win? Are you betting on your Knicks this year?
I don't really watch too much basketball. But yeah, I was rooting for the Knicks. I did see some shit about Bronny down in the G League, put up like 39, some shit like that, and apparently he's playing good down there, but I don't know how good the competition is in the G League.
He actually scored like
it up.
He had like a game where he scored like 25 or 30 in an actual NBA game.
Yeah, I remember he was up, for a few games, right? But
yeah.
I mean, I guess they figured he needed development. So yeah, I saw some shit on Twitter. Looks like he was playing pretty good. Other than that, I saw the chick that got drafted #1 overall in WNBA.
What's her name? I heard a girl that was supposed to be coming out that's real good. I can't remember her name though.
It's what is it? Paige Buchers?
Oh no, that's not the one I heard.
Buchers.
I don't know her.
Yeah, she won the NCAA title, and then got drafted #1.
Nice.
So I watched some highlight to this chick, and I'm like, I wonder if she's like our other girl.
Caitlin Clark.
And yeah, I was like, what if she's like our other girl, right? Bro, I watched like 2 minutes of highlight film on this girl. I'm like, me and Vol could beat this chick in a fucking basketball game. This chick, like, she ain't good. Like, she's not on the same level, even maybe as was it Candace Parker? Not Candace Parker.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, yeah.
No,
she even looked pretty talented to me. But
that's really good, like named Juju or something. Like, I can't remember her exact name, but she's in college right now, and she's supposed to be like the next Caitlin Clark. And then you got the NCAA men's tournament is going on right now too. I think the championship game is coming up next, unless it already happened. Once Duke got eliminated in the Final Four, I kind of stopped paying attention.
Happened last night.
Oh,
what was that? I don't know.
Ugh. Yeah, that's something we probably should have highlighted in the sports section. I thought Duke was
I've been surviving for 2 weeks, man. Like, I've been.
Yeah, I hear you. Shout out to Harsh Reality Turned Into Fire is his name. We got some new names in the chat. I like to see that. It says, is Vivi dead? Psh. I mean, define dead. What's your definition of dead? Is it still alive? Is it still going on? Yes. Is it profitable? No. I mean, unless you're super lucky on a drop, I don't know. What's it going to go from here? I don't see a big comeback happening personally, but I could be wrong. Dr. Strange says, pull up footage of his dad. Is he an alien too then? All I know is Alon don't look like either of his parents. So maybe, and not only that, but doesn't his dad own like an emerald mine? I know his mom's crazy too. I see her on Twitter all the time. Alon Musk's
emerald mine with some
parents.
portal to another dimension.
I'll pull up their, I want to see what they look like. Let me get some images up going in here. Shout out to Viper Actus says, Haley Van Lith went 11th. I don't know who she is. UConn top 3 picks. Okay. Reese has no talent. Stop, dude. I like Angel Reese. I think she's got lots of talent. Her talent is perseverance.
Picking up her own rebounds?
Yes. She gets like 8 rebounds in a row, and then she finally hits the shot. If she just perseveres, the shot is eventually going to go in. That's the thing.
It's like Shaq playing against kindergartners.
Bro. It is
kind of. What it looks like.
All right, I'm looking for Alon's parents. Apparently, that's the dad. Wait, is that the dad?
Give it time, Doc. Watch what Caitlin Clark does.
Looks like William Regal, the wrestler, to me. But I think all these Europeans look like William Regal to me.
His mom looks like William Regal?
No, his dad.
Oh.
Look like an old.
I was like, man, that's disrespectful.
I don't know. Okay, all right, yeah.
Red X sponsorship over here for Tales from the Crypto.
They do look a little strange. All right, let me throw this back on here. Why did I lose my background? Okay, there it is. All right, let's see. Viper says, we done here. Reese has no talent. The next Caitlin Clark, what did she even do? I know, I think you were saying that on Twitter when people were saying it was the next Caitlin Clark, but I don't even remember her name, so I've not been paying too much attention to her. Don't understand why that's gone. Oh, I know why it's gone. Boom, shakalaka. There we go. Viper says, that girl can't jump and land on her own feet without falling. Who's that, Angel Reese? Man, I don't know, man. Y'all are disrespectful to Angel Reese. She was like second runner-up in Rookie of the Year. And she had her own McDonald's meal, dude. She wasn't a baller, if she wasn't a star, she wouldn't have her own McDonald's meal. Cryptoids has a new partnership. Ooh, what's this all about? We haven't got to the crypto section yet. I can look that up while we're getting there. And then we'll talk about Cryptoid's new partnership. Mo should know, he's an ambassador. Alejandro said, just seen the footage of Caitlin Clark scoring 22 points in 2 minutes against a men's team. That sounds like AI. You sure? Was it a middle school team? I have not heard about that. Nah, I believe it. She's probably hitting threes left and right. I'm watching, but I just don't crown people early. Y'all be on that hope wave, but okay. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention, so I can't testify myself. But they're saying she's really good. But all right, let's get on to our next topic. Our next topic is politics. I didn't make any type of graphics for politics because there's so much that's going on.
Because I had no idea what's going on. So.
Oh, well, I'll be happy to fill you in. The crazy stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. I just want to know if there's anybody in chat who is still, including Mo, not just chat, but also Mo, who is still with Trump or still agrees with what he's doing, whether it be tariffs. But, I mean, the thing I want to go to first, though, let me know in the chat if you still are riding with Trump. I guess y'all probably are. Y'all are some diehard MAGA folks. However,
oh, yeah, brother.
The crazy thing is this guy that they deported. So I forget was he in Michigan? I think he was a Michigan father. So this is a guy who has a green card, and he's married to an American citizen, and they have a kid together. He lives in America, and they deported him, and then the White House and the Department of Justice said, oops, that was a clerical error. We didn't mean to deport him. And then a judge said, you got to bring him back. And Trump didn't do it. So then it went up to another court, to an appeals court, and now it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that you got to bring this dude back because you weren't supposed to deport him. And Trump's just straight up saying, no, he's in an MS-13. What's the name of the gang? M13, whatever it is.
MS.
He said he's 100% sure he's an MS-13.
MS-13, like, yeah. Or
they had the El Salvadorian president was in the Oval Office the other day, and the reporter asked the El Salvadoran president, are you going to bring this guy back? And the El Salvadoran president says, I don't have the power to do that. And Trump says, I don't have the power to do that. So they're just letting this poor innocent dude just be in prison in El Salvador. Didn't commit any crime, didn't come into this place illegally. I mean, we just are living in like a straight up fascist government. This is just, they just kidnap people off the streets for protesting against Israel and deport them, even though that they're on like a student visa. I don't know, Mo. What do you think about the deportations? That's what's tripping me out.
Sounds like the plot to Born in East LA with Cheech. You ever see that movie?
I may have. I know I've definitely seen the cover to the VHS, and I almost rented it at some point.
Great
I
movie.
Probably rented it at some point.
He was a legal citizen, but he forgot his wallet, and his name was Rudy.
Yeah, I think I
He was
remember
born
that.
in America. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he forgot his wallet, and he went to go visit like a sweatshop, like a factory, with like illegals, and he got busted in a raid, and couldn't prove who he was, and they shipped his ass out. And the whole movie was him and Daniel Stern, you know, from Home Alone. It was him trying to help Rudy, aka Cheech, get back. Anyway, I diverse though. Yeah, it's fucked up for sure. I mean, listen, I think I messaged you last week. I'm like, reciprocal tariffs only work and all the other bullshit aside if you actually do what you say you're going to do. The same reason why I give Democrats bullshit, and I've done it for years. Now, Republicans doing the same thing. And we all know what happened. It's fucking politics. But it doesn't mean I agree with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd fucking probably bring the dude home. Wasn't the kicker, who was it? Amy Barrett, the judge. What the hell's her name?
Oh, yeah, Amy Coney Barrett or something like that.
Yeah. It was a kicker that she was the one that had the, I guess, like the word on it, the final word.
Yeah, that was on their first ruling on it. Yeah, she had like the dissenting opinion.
And they were like, yeah, she probably, she works for us or whatever. And they're like, huh, wait a second. Well, listen, man, I don't care who appoints who. Like, just rule like what you think is right, you know?
Well, it's not even just this one guy. I talked about a couple weeks ago when we were talking about this same topic. There was this hairdresser, I forget where he was from, maybe Baltimore, who was like a gay guy from Venezuela that they also deported to El Salvador, who also probably was not in any type of gang, because the reason he left Venezuela is because the gangs were killing gay people. And there was one study that showed that they couldn't find any criminal records for 90% of the people that they sent to El Salvador so far. And the really scary part is not only did he say it in public, but there was also a hot mic that caught Trump talking about it to this Bukele, president of El Salvador, yesterday in the Oval Office, where he says, next we're going to be sending, I forget what he calls them, like the bad apples, or our own people. So he's saying that he's going to be sending citizens, U.S. citizens, to El Salvador to serve in their torture prisons. And he says it's going to be for like the worst of the worst people. But he also said that the people from the January 6th committee should be going. So I feel like, this might have to be the last time we talk trash about, I talk trash about Trump. I really do feel like I need to start kissing his butt, because if he ever catches wind of my YouTube channel or my Twitter, I'm probably going to be sent to El Salvador. Maybe, and that's the whole point here, too. He wants to strike fear into everybody's heart because he's such like a dictator. Like, we live in the
authoritarian.
Yes, an oligarchy. What it is it's not good. Is this not feel like this is a new type of government that America's never had? Does it feel like we have a king where he's defying the Supreme Court's ruling and stuff? Does it not worry you?
I don't know if it feels like that, but I definitely feel a lot of uneasiness across the board, yeah? I don't know if it feels more like a king or like oligarchy or anything like that. To me, and it's what we talked about, bro. Like, I hope it's a wake up call. When you have people like Newsom calling out his own party, I hope Democrats wake up. And I hope they bring somebody good to the table with good ideas. Because they might need it. Because, like I said, bro, even people I know that voted for Trump didn't vote for a lot of this crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like he's losing people one by one. Every time something happens, there's a few people that are like, "Oh no, I don't like that at all."
It was like, listen, make America great again, right? Put America first. Okay, cool. A lot of that, especially so with the border, fentanyl, saving our people, deporting illegals. Okay, that's cool. I get it. But now we start getting on with the extra, you know?
Yeah.
And when it came to like the tariffs, I mean, you talked about it off stream. If you're going to say reciprocal and 10% is 10%, not like, oh, well, 10%, but we're going to do 30 to you, even though we're going to call it reciprocal. We're going to leave Russia off the fucking list. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird look. It's a very weird look when you start trying to dive into it and say, why are they doing it? Then you come to find out, if you really read between the lines, right? The whole point of it was to fuck China. Right? Like, at the end of the day, he's like, all right, well, all the other tariffs are paused except China. Right?
And he didn't really pause the other tariffs. He still put 10% on everybody else, too. So I don't think it was just China. Because 10% even on everybody else is crazy. That's what's sitting here today. He paused the 60 and the 50% tariffs and all that, but he still put 10% on every country. Except for Russia, his best friend.
Well, Russia, they were talking about doing sanctions again, but it doesn't make sense.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick, because I want to talk about tariffs, too. Viper says, you need a watcher. Doesn't sound like you watch much basketball. I think he's talking to the person that's talking trash about, oh, no, he's saying me. I don't watch a lot of
chat fight going on.
I'll be honest. Dr. Strange says it's like saying that Wemby will be the GOAT right now. It's possible, but let's slow down. I'm not going to call anyone the draft the next Wemby like y'all owed Clark, like y'all did with Clark, and she ain't done nothing yet, bro. I don't know, man. I feel like she's a young
Put WNBA on the map.
You could be right, though. She could get injured. She could break her, her knee or something and never play again. What's the Orange Man destroying nowadays? Psh, everything. Caitlyn is a beast, but it's a long game. It is. You're right. I think they say they won't give him back because they're trying to have the fact that he got murdered in prison. As a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people with that same opinion saying that they think that he's already dead, and that's why they are avoiding having to bring him back or having to answer to where he is, because then what? I don't know what after that. They call it brown coats. I've heard the term. I don't know exactly what brown coats is. Black Mirror season 7 is wild. I've never watched Black Mirror. That seems like something I would like.
Oh, the new Black Mirror?
I've never watched it.
Yeah. Apparently there was like an episode this season that people are recreating now, like torturing themselves on stream.
Ew, that's not good. Then again, I do need some new viewers. Maybe I'll check it out. Let's see how bad the torture is first. Tariffs were a bad
Well, that was like the pumped out fun.
I agree.
They're like, I got grandma locked in the closet until we go live. You know what I mean?
That sounds pretty crazy. Yeah, Bernie Sanders and AOC have been doing a bunch of rallies, and they've been getting tons and tons of people. And all these left-wing channels are growing right now because everybody's mad about Trump. It's kind of crazy how it goes back and forth. Yeah, I know what you meant, Viper Active. I was just kidding. Yeah, you don't like Angel Reese, but she does have a McDonald's meal named after her, and that's really what matters the most. So keep that in mind. But okay, so
I did find the Bill Maher had dinner with Trump. You see that?
Yes, I saw that it happened, and everybody keeps trying to make videos and show videos of Bill Maher talking about it, and I refuse to watch it. I don't give a shit. I like Bill Maher. I liked his old documentary, Religulous. I thought that was really good, and I used to watch his show, but he's kind of more of a centrist now, so I really don't give a crap what he thinks. He's old.
Well, at the end of the day, it's still nice when you see people who are outside of the aisle. Where he's like, yeah, there's a lot of things that people say, yeah, sure. He's like, but he seemed genuine, he's trying. And again, I don't know what the fuck. He was talking to Gavin Newsom too a few weeks ago. I think we talked about that already. Yeah. He was talking about like all the hoops and shit he had to go through to get his fucking roof fixed. And it's like, just cut the red tape, cut the bullshit, and just get my shit done. And that's where I think the Democrats drop it a lot. I got my cat. Hold on.
Well, what I don't understand, what I want to get an answer on, and for somebody who's a Trump supporter to explain to me, please. I'm trying to figure out, Mo, and maybe you can explain it to me or somebody in the chat can. I don't understand why trade deficits matter so much to Donald Trump. He based all of the tariffs and the reciprocal tariffs on the trade deficits. And a trade deficit, and I explained this a couple weeks ago whenever we talked about it, is just a difference in how much goods we're importing and exporting to a particular country. So there's a country in Africa, it's some country I never even heard of, and I watch a lot of traveling channels that go to Africa, and I know a lot of the country. I never even heard. It's so small, I never heard of it. Right? It got a 50% tariff. I think it's called like Lesotho or something, and it got this 50% tariff from Trump because they export diamonds to us. And so we have a huge trade deficit with them because they have a tiny GDP, and the people there earn on average like $3 a day. So what Trump wants to do, and Vietnam actually proposed 0% tariffs to try to appease Trump, and he said no because we still have this trade deficit. So if you look at a country like Lesotho, in order for them to appease Trump and give him what he wants, they would have to get rid of that trade deficit. And in order to do that, these people who make $3 a day would have to buy like millions and millions of dollars of products from America. Like, what would they even buy? It makes no sense at all. And then the other option is that we produce the diamonds ourselves. We can't produce diamonds, so the whole trade deficit stuff makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and it just shows how Trump has no idea what he's talking about. There's no economist who can explain why a trade deficit matters. Is there?
Nope.
Do you know why trade deficit matters?
I understand why it matters with a place like China.
Yeah.
But I don't understand, like you're saying, that's what I was telling you about last week. It's kind of like I said, with like Bidenomics and like making up your own math. Like what good does it serve by using that metric? You know what I mean? It should just be like, hey, listen, you want to have a 10% import? Well, it's going to be a 10% export. You know what I mean? Like, to me, again, that would be fair. You know, it's like me and you go out to dinner, we eat half the fucking amount of food, we split it, right? We split the bill, you know?
No, I mean,
but I'm not gonna be like, hey, you
fair,
put in,
but not necessarily. Like, we created this whole system ourselves. Shout out to Abdullah's in the chat. Good to see my man. We set up this whole system of world trade ourselves, and we're the ones benefiting from it. We are the most powerful and richest country in the world, so it's not like it's to our disadvantage. We're the ones gaining from it. That's why we do it.
You're not wrong, but even was it Pelosi and Schumer going back, what, 25, 30 years ago even.
Exactly.
We're doing crazy presentations about the danger of China and the fucking trade deficit being an issue. So it's not just, Trump. And this has been something, I think it was, they talked about at the White House. They were like, yeah, and Trump, Trump says you're welcome because you guys wanted this 30 years ago, which is kind of true. But it just goes to show you that, yeah, we did create this, but this was a long time ago. You know what I mean? This isn't like recent shit. But they were trying to figure out a way to not let China get too powerful. And that's why back in the day, everything was made in the USA, right? The commercials were everywhere. If you watch TV, you remember that shit.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, we'll just build outside and import, export, deal with the fucking tariffs, deal with the taxes. And even the flip side, right? All the companies that committed to build in the United States, 5 to 8 years, bro, before they even build. Yeah. So if Democrats win the next election, then none of this really fucking matters. Anyway, we should go right back.
And that's why companies are not going to be willing to invest in building new factories because they know that the winds could change with the next president and none of it may matter at all.
True, but even as it stands right now, he says $5 trillion, which I think is bullshit. 3.5 trillion from what they said sounds more accurate of all the companies that committed to build here. So,
I wouldn't believe any of that. I wouldn't believe none of that. He's talked about all these countries that were calling and kissing his ass and trying to make deals, but when they asked him to name just one country that has called and tried to make a deal, he wouldn't name one. So I don't really believe anything when he says.
I'm talking about countries. Talk about companies themselves.
I know. I'm talking about two different things. I'm just saying he lies. I mean, he just came out with his health report. He says that he's 6'3" and 225 pounds. I mean, the dude.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But if you go by the companies that have said they committed to coming back to the USA, and they take that money in the contracts, and it says nowhere near $5 trillion.
No, definitely not. No. And then one of the reasons that he put the whole tariff on Taiwan is what he says is that he wants to bring all this chip manufacturing back to America. But
Right.
Biden had the CHIPS Act. That's exactly what it did. It brought the manufacturing back to America, and he ended the CHIPS Act. So then, after ending Biden's CHIPS Act for no reason other than spite, he goes and tries to make a deal to do exactly what the CHIPS Act did. So stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Okay.
Well, that's why I said if the whole idea, and again, this is something that other people, even Democrats, were crying about 30 years ago. If the whole idea behind this was to say, hey, we're going to throw out this crazy tariff shit and then walk every single one back except China, if that was the whole plan all along, and I said to my boy, I would just said, fuck China to begin with, because the rest of the world doesn't like China either. I feel like the rest of the world would have had our back more than be like, hey, here's tariffs. Oh, by the way, let's just walk them back for now.
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
Got to keep in mind that the reason why all this stuff is made in China is because of the low pay. I mean, they can still make the stuff and then ship it to another place and then ship it from that place, that country, to America and avoid those tariffs. That's why it didn't make sense to put different amount of tariffs on every other country whenever these countries can just ship to the cheapest country and then use that country as their dock or whatever to save money from the tariffs. So, I mean, I don't...
Then that would be on them. I mean, because they're fucking their economy, really. But, I don't know. It's...
Well, there's this
like
there's this new TikTok videos, and then, of course, on the Red Book videos, too, from China that are going viral right now. And it's these people in China going and saying, can you find anything in your house that is made in America? And then they ask the viewer, if you're an American, can you find anything in your house that's made in China? And of course, they have nothing in their house that's made in America, and everything in our house is made in China.
Of course.
So whenever we cut off trade between the two, who do you really think is going to hurt the most?
Again, short term, us, 100%. But again, I grew up, and you did too, man. Like, we're made in America was like a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
But
then
again, those signs have changed.
Capitalism made it so that the corporations had to maximize those profits. And no matter if it cost Americans to lose jobs, as long as they're making more profits, that's all that matters. Stan says Biden's speaking tonight. Biden still speaks. Will the channel tune in? No, it'd be too embarrassing. He just stumbles all the time. If he just stutters one time, everybody's like, oh, look, he's got dementia. And then everybody freaks out. So I didn't even know he was still doing events. All right, one more topic before we end the politics. Mo,
I had a world topic too, but go ahead.
I was gonna just ask you who you think should run for president as a Democrat next presidential election.
Oh, we've talked about this. Honestly, it should be McConaughey, but he's got to run for governor first.
I do think I remember you saying that before, McConaughey.
I don't think it's going to be Newsom. I think he's going to lose a lot of support, especially after his crazy shit now. I hope it's not AOC. Shapiro. I gotta learn more about Shapiro, but he seems like a level-headed dude.
Did you hear about his house getting burnt down?
Shapiro?
Yeah.
Well, in Pennsylvania?
Yep.
Say, man, like, but I mean, someone like that. That's what I'm saying. I like Bernie. He's too fucking old.
I know. He's like 800. But I mean, I like AOC. I'm starting to lean towards AOC. Although every time Democrats run a female, they lose. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know. But I do like AOC overall.
Yeah, that'd be a concern too. But
all right, what was your world topic you wanted to mention or talk about?
Oh, streamers getting arrested in other countries. You hear about that Vitali?
Yeah, I saw some thumbnails about it. I didn't watch any of the videos. What happened?
Oh, this guy was in fucking Thailand, just fucking acting like a jerk off in public, and he was like, just doing stupid shit. It wasn't even funny, really. Then he started going up to cops, taking their hats, stealing their motorcycles.
Jeez, he was trying to go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. They wound up arresting him. Now they're saying he's gonna do like fucking 5 years per count. He's got like 5 counts, so he's looking like minimum 25 years.
25 years? Oh my god.
And apparently, people in those prisons don't typically make it. It reminded me when you talked about the rough prisons before.
Yeah.
But you know what they do to people over there, especially like foreigners in the prisons?
No, what?
Remember them? And they fucking stuff them into the grates.
What?
Yeah, that's how they murder fucking people in those prisons.
Yikes.
They dismember their bodies and they fucking mush them down through the grates.
Ew, that sounds horrible. Yeah, I used to watch that show
Yeah.
called Locked Up Abroad, and I see some crazy stuff where people get locked up in other countries for like really tiny, well, somewhat small stuff, and then they're gone for like 25 years, like this person. Like Viper says, mess around and find out. I don't know, man. 25 years. This just seems wild to me. But what can you do? You're in their country, so I guess you have
If you're
to.
in another country,
Yeah,
you should have the utmost respect.
yeah.
Like, if you're in America and like you're home, okay, cool, I can fuck around a little bit. You know what I mean? I might go to jail, but it'll be a good jail, and I can go home probably that night. You know?
Stan the Man says, didn't Thailand beat an American dude with a stick? No, that's Singapore, sir. Singapore.
Out of Singapore with a cane.
Yes, that's still probably part of
And
the law too. You mess up, you getting caned.
well, Thailand, you saw the movie Broke Down Palace, right?
No,
With Claire Danes and the other chick,
I don't think I've seen that.
famous actress. Um, it was two young girls that were traveling, and some dude snuck drugs in their backpack, and they got caught. And they both got thrown in jail for life.
Sounds familiar. I might have seen it. Either that or I saw that same scenario on Locked Up Abroad because I've seen that scenario happen before.
Well, it's a real story, and they made a movie out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and the one girl wound up like spoiler chat, close your ears. The one girl wound up like offering herself up to take the blame, so the other girl who had no idea what was happening can go home.
Oh, nice. That's a good friend.
Yeah.
Viper
Well,
says
like I
we're
said,
ignorant to think the world treats people the same way as America. That's true. But Americans are kind of like naive about that kind of stuff, it seems like. They think they have freedom everywhere. I'm American.
Exactly.
That's not how it
Entitled.
works.
Entitlement and shit.
All right, there's one topic I want to mention real quick. That's a pretty sad topic. Mo, I don't know if you remember this person or not from the VV community back in the day, but Thompson. I used to do a show with him every week, and he had his own YouTube channel. He came on here and did political debates with me and stuff too. Apparently, he passed away.
Wait, really?
Yeah, see, somebody commented on my video like last week about it, and then I went to his recent video just to see if I had any information. I've been trying to look him up, but I don't know for sure his first name. I think it's James. But somebody had commented on his last video like 12 days ago, RIP.
Oh, shit.
And I haven't heard from him forever. Last time we heard from him, he was in the hospital. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's like, how did that happen and nobody heard anything? I don't know. I wish I knew his name so I could look it up. I tried to reply to that comment on his last video that said RIP and ask if he had any information about it. So maybe we'll get some more information, but that kind of just found that out today. I didn't really believe the person who told me last week about it, but now that I see a second like confirmation, that's kind of a wild thing that has apparently happened. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I hope you are, but if the guy was in the hospital and shit, I mean, who knows? But
Yeah.
man, that's sad. If it is, life is short, bro.
Yeah. If anybody
Life
in the
is
chat
short.
knows, let me know. If anybody knows about it. Yeah, Butt was one of the first people I watched on VV. Absolutely, 100%. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, though, until we find out more about Butt. Like, I'll have some updates. I'm just going to try to research it. But our next topic is a Web3 game. The Web3 game of the week is called Cambria. Mo found this game. Mo, do you want me to put it on Mo and Tell?
Yeah, I can bring it up.
I might have to fix your audio, but you should be right on.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yes.
All right, we're both in there audio-wise, and you are on the screen, so you can tell them about Cambria. I've got a link to Cambria's website down in the description if you guys want to check it out.
Cool. Here, let me go on Mo and Tail. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. So this is it's like a old school, if you ever played like Ultima or Dragon Warrior back in the day.
Not me.
It's kind of like an online version of that. So they have a campaign going on right now. It's for 2 weeks. I guess for like an airdrop of NFTs and currency. I picked up a pass. It was like $35. But there are a lot of people playing. Oops, connect my wallet again. Damn it. Just did this.
This game looks really cool. I was looking at a little bit of their website today.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's apparently been around for a minute. They've been testing it out. It seems to be pretty damn polished. It's got all sorts of like resourcing, and if you play like World of Warcraft, go out and mine your nodes,
Oh
do some
yeah.
fishing. Um, it seems to have a pretty cool like AFK farming mechanic. So I just go to like a fishing node and I'll just throw out my rod. And I'll be on the other monitor dicking around with PFL or spinning. Yeah, see, it actually kicked me out right here.
Hmm. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are all actual people. There's a fuck ton of people playing. Um,
So you have to download software. Or is it browser based?
browser game.
Nice.
I don't know. They might have like a client at some point, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, you can also find like these collectibles, and you turn them in like artifacts, and you get more points. Um,
So do you have to like
I guess
party up to
which
go invade dungeons and stuff?
yeah, there are dungeons, and apparently some of the shit's pretty hard. I've yet to even really leave the fucking starter town. I've just been kind of running around farming up shit. Could walk over to the cow and just fucking kill him.
It looks a little bit like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I mean with the old school 8-bit,
Yeah.
type of shit. Yeah, kill cows, skin them, go back to town, level up, make things. I don't know, like I said, for me it's pretty fun. I've also been playing that fishing game. I log in like once a day, do my 10 fishing, and I sign off.
How long does that usually take?
For my fishing on the other game, takes
Yep.
like 5 minutes.
That's not bad. I like the idea of being able to farm and stuff. All right, I'll put it back on the regular scene.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
It looks like a cool game. I've got some screenshots from their website that tells you more about it. This is just kind of a map here. Let me show you this one that talks about what is Cambria. And I liked how they talked about it being an experimental MMO with real stakes, I think is what it says. Real stakes. It's kind of small on my screen, but the description sounds pretty cool. They also have an OpenSea collection. You can. Is this what you bought, Mo? The Cambria
No, it was
Founders
pretty
Collection?
expensive. You don't need a founder's pass.
Okay.
It's like a Ronin event.
Okay.
So
And then they
when
have
I logged in for the
companions you
first
can
time,
get.
it was like buy the pass, and I happened to have Ronin token already.
So yeah, this
Which,
game
by
is
the way, if
pretty
you don't
cool.
have Ronin token and you have to buy it for the first time, and you're in the United States, good luck.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's I want to say impossible.
Is that just New York or anybody in the United States? I know New York's hard to buy certain cryptos,
It might just be New York.
right?
For me, it was damn near impossible. And the only way I was able to get the Ron token was to have one of the moderators on the Fishing Frenzy Discord.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I heard other people had this problem." So I was like, "Can I send you $5 and you send me $5 in Ron token?" Because I couldn't convert to Ron token without having Ron token for the gas fee, which made no sense.
I think that was the same thing with Go back in the day with Omi. You had to have Go tokens to do anything on the Go blockchain. Stan says, why can't Vivi create a game like this? Doesn't it seem like this is something Vivi could create pretty easily?
Yeah, I mean, not as complex as this. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this game already. It's pretty deep.
That is true.
I feel like VB is just kind of like, here's a basic generic sandbox, and maybe one day they'll unlock like gamification, but for now, it's kind of like hide and seek.
It's
Shit like
user
that.
generated content. It should be VB generated content. They told us there would be gamification. They told us they'd be able to race vehicles and stuff. But there is a new, since we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic, there is a new announcement from VB that I thought was kind of interesting. Apparently, they're now going to have sets for comics. I just saw this and I haven't read all the way through it. It says we're leveling up your collecting journey with the launch of comic book sets going live today, April 15th. So that was literally today. It says unlock MCP rewards and completing comic sets by collecting all cover rarities up to 5. So that's like the comics that used to come out, like the Marvel comic #1. There's a common, an uncommon, a rare. an ultra rare, and a secret rare. They never used to count as sets when you had all 5 of them, but now they do. And I used to, back in the day, 3 years ago, I used to tell people one day they're going to count as sets. I swear they are. And then now the day has come, and of course I don't own any. Back in the day I used to complete the sets on purpose because I knew this would come one day. So here's the, I guess, the frequently asked questions about this announcement. It says you can use the new My Comic Sets dashboard to track your progress on completing your sets. Get daily MCB points for holding full sets, so you get the extra +5 a day for each set. It's not really a ton whenever you're talking about these sets, though, because secret rares usually cost a lot. Then again, these days, secret rares not so expensive. Maybe people will be going in and buying up secret rares, cheap secret rares. I think it would be a smart thing to go in and buy cheap secret rare comics right now for people who are trying to complete sets to buy from. They'll buy from you. You can pump the price. It also says sell a cover, bonus pauses. What does that mean, y'all? Am I reading it right? Buy it back, bonus resumed. Oh, okay. All right, so I guess if you incomplete the set, if you sell one of your 5 rarities, your bonus 5 per day points pauses, but then you buy that rarity back and the bonus resumes. Wait until after April 15th at 8 p.m. Pacific to complete your sets if you want the 100-point reward. So yeah, interesting that they're doing that now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they gotta change it up. You gotta make some changes here and there. I mean, PFL did kind of the same thing recently. You know, cut the amount of breeds in half, change the amount of the pricing, and you know, even though now it's actually pretty cheap to breed over there on most shit.
It used to be like $60.
What
What is it now?
So now you can actually breed to an S minus for $12.50.
Nice.
And if you own both horses, to an S minus costs like $6.
Nice.
You can breed to an S now for 3,000 Derby, which is like just under $40. And an S plus is still 50 and higher.
I've still got a few horses over there. I might have to get back into it. I think I've got at least one female horse. I bred like 3 male horses in a row, which kind of was pretty disappointing because then I didn't have any mares to make new horses with. That's why I kind of stopped breeding over there. But I might, if it's a little bit cheaper now, I might go back there and try to do some breeding once again. And in the
not only cheaper to breed, but also very profitable to race if you can. Oh, really? You know, if you get yourself a decent horse.
My horses are trash. That first horse you gave me was good, but all her foals were horrible.
I still got Joyride babies on the up and coming. I think we got the bloodline up to an S or an S plus now.
You ever get an extra one, send it over this way. Dr. Strange
I would say I probably have, well, maybe. I'll have to look. See if there's like an S minus filly or something we can just breed out.
Ooh.
And try to get like an upgrade from that.
Yeah, let me know, especially since it's cheaper now. The comic sets thing turned on one day a few weeks ago. It was a few weeks ago and everyone's sets went up. Oh, but then it turned off. Oh, okay. So he's got a video on his channel about it. It shows it that the other night they turned it off, on and off, a new leaderboard program. So I can see they've been testing this. So now apparently it is official. Check out Dr. Strange's video over there. You can see it actually happening where they're testing it. They turn it on and they turn it off on his channel, All Things Strange, which I'm sure you guys are already subscribed to. If not, make sure you're over there subscribing to his channel. And in the world of crypto, for some reason, prices are up. I don't know. Even Brett, which was my old meme coin that I used to, well, I made a lot of money on, but I don't own any right now. I'm always tracking the price on that to see how meme coins are doing. And it's up like almost 2x from where it was a couple days ago, or maybe about 3 or 4 days ago. And Bitcoin is up to like 86K, I think. I can pull it up here on my Discord. It's at 84K now. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It was going, but hit a triple top on Solana. I think Bitcoin did the same thing.
So what do you think about crypto? I mean, they just updated the prices over here on my Discord server, and now it's up a little bit over 84K. It looks like everything is in the green right now. I'm surprised with all the uncertainty, although a lot of people feel like right now is a good time to be buying because any type of White Lotus event, I forget exactly what they call it, but any type of crazy event that you don't expect could happen during this Trump administration because it's so unpredictable that could end up shooting prices really high. But I feel like in the same sense, something crazy could happen that could shoot prices really low. So I don't know. How are you feeling about crypto right now?
Well, yeah, like you said, we know we got pro crypto, stuff in the White House now, which we never had. So that's good. But trade turmoil, tariffs, all that crap is kind of like the offsetting factor, right? So it's going to be which one gets resolved quicker before it just keeps going down. But it seems like, I mean, it seemed like the bottom was in again. Solana tapped all the way down to $97 again, but that was a week ago.
Just say it's been a while, hasn't it? I haven't seen it that low in a while.
That was a week ago. Came back up. We double bottomed, made another run. I think that was when they, yeah, it was when they paused stuff, and then in the EU and UK said they're still gonna enable stuff on us, and went down again. And then I think the rest of the world realized as long as we fuck China, we're okay. And it just seemed to have gone up. But now, that was a 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, man, tried testing it 5 times at 133 on Solana, and got rejected on the hourly. So,
yeah.
And like I said, Bitcoin's been kind of following similar, even though that was like a triple test, head and shoulders, and got rejected. But we'll see, man. I just think having pro Bitcoin, pro crypto in the White House is just, I'm not selling anything. Doesn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, now's not the time to sell. I don't know necessarily it's going to go up from here, but I wouldn't be selling right now either. Shout out to an OG in the chat. S Alpha says, what the hell happened to Vivi? I was in jail since March 2022 till last week and got into the app and it's all messed. What happened to the prices? I thought I had a good bag there.
Oh, man.
Man, 2022, yeah, March 2022. No, what had happened was...
That's like when Austin Powers got fucking unfrozen. Right. And he had to sit down and watch the videos that night of everything that happened.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell? I mean, you feel free to go back through my catalog of live VV drops. You'll see where at one point,
the highs and the lows.
Point you got locked up here. That we're having, 1,000 people in the chat. Everything you got on the drop was profitable. And then maybe a couple months later, it was down to like 800 people in the chat, and everything except for the common was profitable. And then you fast forward a few months later, there's even less people, and the prices are even lower to the point to where now, I know drops don't sell out anymore. Every once in a while, you'll have a drop that sells out, but it's very, very rare. And I mean, if you look at last week's drop, you pretty much had to get the secret rare to be in profit, and that was probably just barely in profit. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I know they had a diamond version, which was like super scarce, that was going for like 500 or 600, but the secret rare I think was going for pretty close to retail. I don't know, man. It's rough out here in the streets. The problem is VV made a whole lot of promises and they didn't come through on the promises, and crypto people, they have paper hands. They will bounce as soon as they are unhappy, and that's kind of what happened. A lot of people bounced. I mean, I don't even really stream the drops very often anymore. On the weekends, every once in a while, that's about it. Yeah, VV happened to VV. That's a good explanation, Stan. VV.
Too many people got burned, even on other platforms, Yeah,
I mean, pretty much all the NFT platforms are the same. But I'm hearing Funko was doing really well. They were telling me about some NFT release recently in my Discord. They were talking about it where it sold out and the prices were really high on it. But I mean, I didn't hear anything about it. I'm not big into paying attention to it anymore, although I will go for VV drops every once in a while. I did relist a couple of my collectibles to lower prices just a few days ago to see if I could get some sales. But FSF says you can do a backflip. I most certainly cannot do it. I can do a backflip in a swimming pool. Does that count? I got to be underwater.
I'd say it counts.
Stan says the partner statue is the measuring stick. If it dips under 700, the ship will sink. I think it's down to like 1K. I saw where one sold for a little bit less than 1K the other day, if I'm not mistaken. I always considered the Todd the measuring stick. Anytime it went below 400, I felt like we were in trouble. And I know last time I checked it was around 300. So I don't know, man. There's really not much VV can do except for hope that the whole narrative behind NFTs in general to the mainstream audience gets changed. And I don't know how that's going to get changed when even the president of himself has 3 NFT projects and people still feel like NFTs are fringe and a scam, and they have a right to think that because there's a lot of scams in the NFT and crypto world. So I don't know what the future holds, but if it does blow up again,
it's up to projects like Off the Grid, honestly.
Yeah,
like Doc had the game, put everything on the map, right? But then he had his own little personal fallout. Off the Grid, it's their shot. You know what I mean? Like, they had an opportunity. They're already on console. The T's are already dotted, the I's, you know what I'm saying? Everything's already done. But if they don't succeed mainstream and they fail, yeah, good luck. Because it takes a long, we talk about it all the time. It takes a long time to build these types of games.
Yep.
You know, Off the Grid's been on fucking development since like 2012, honestly.
But who knows what other Web3 games are in development right now that are like AAA games are going to take another year or two to develop. And no matter what happens between then and now, they're still going to release that game, right?
Well, yeah, but if Off the Grid comes out, takes over, and, you know, people are making money and people are having fun, then like EA and Ubisoft and those companies will come around and be like, well, we're going to make our own NFT game.
Very true.
You know?
Yes, absolutely. I hope that happens too. I like the whole idea of Trojan horsing the NFTs into the gaming community by not even telling them that they're playing a Web3 game and releasing them on consoles. That's really the important thing. Viper says games are easy to make, should take less than a year. Not AAA games. I mean, if it's some ghetto little janky game, then yeah, but AAA games that people are going to actually play. You're right.
Yeah, games like Grand Theft Auto. You know, we've been waiting for GTA 6 for what, like a fucking decade?
Yes.
GTA 6 has been released on like 9 different consoles. Oh, GTA 5 was released on like 9 different consoles. It's crazy. They're gonna release that on like a smart fridge before GTA 6 ever comes out. We mean short time to make a game.
Yep. Yeah, they have a lot of downloadable content, stuff that you can buy, and now they have the whole RPG games with the Grand Theft Auto that I've never played but look pretty cool. Dan K says, cashed out probably for the last time out of VV. I'll leave 300-ish in for the 3 drops a year worth going for. Dan K said he cashed out. I cashed out back in the day, and then I hit a good drop and still have a little bit in there, but I'm ready to cash out again. I don't know. What's the point at this juncture? Like I said, if they were to hit a new vertical, like to get the NBA, to get the NFL, or to get some good music, some good artists, and be able to release their music on their jukeboxes, then stuff like that, you never know, man. They could pump it again too. There's so many ways that they could gain relevancy again. I just don't know that it's going to happen.
Here's how it happens. Off the Grid comes out and puts Web3 gaming on the map. Companies or a game like Fortnite with Epic Games, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to look at it and say, okay, we need to implement Web3 NFTs. And they kind of did that with the dot swoosh a little bit, but not fully.
Right.
So move it a step further. They say, okay, well, we want the hot NFTs on our platform because we're fucking Fortnite, right? Like they're the top shit. Okay, let's reach out to our partnerships and who do we know? Our connections. Well, who do they know? They got all the Disney fucking deals already.
True.
They contact Disney, and then Disney's like, well, we already have an NFT platform. It's called Vivi. Like, oh, we'll put us in touch with Vivi. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, you're logging into fucking Fortnite, attaching your Vivi account. Bing, bang, boom. All your NFTs now are playable characters inside Fortnite. There you go. There's fucking 100 times the fucking floor.
Yeah, that would be pretty super bullish if it did happen, 100%.
See how easy that is? Like, it's so easy to piece that together because they already had the connections, they already had the contracts with Vivi and Disney, Marvel and Disney for Fortnite, you know? It's just they have to want to do it. And the second they want to do it, they're going to have all these different options at their disposal.
Man, you know what would really suck if they went through all that and they did all that and you were right about everything, and at the very end they said, and the platform that has our NFTs is called Cryptoys. Instead of Vivi.
I mean, I feel like Vivi at this point, though, people are probably more dissatisfied with Vivi because of the time. But if you put Vivi and Cryptoys side by side to a new person, they're probably going to want to go buy shit on Vivi. Right or wrong?
Yes, definitely. I've always said that. Yeah, 100%.
And like I said, I love Will. I don't like David Yu at all. I love Will. He's a cool dude. He's got great, aspirations for Cryptoys. But it doesn't change the fact of what I said from day one. Like, you guys aren't game developers. Who the hell is making the games? Well, now we're still waiting for them to get, game developers to make games. And here we are waiting, right? Like everything else. But from a collectible standpoint, unless you're a He-Man collector, you're going to look at the two side by side and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go with Vivi because they got all these cool animations. They got fucking America Chavez. You know who else got America Chavez? Nobody. You know.
That's true. If you're a big American Chavez fan, you gotta go to VV 100%. Apparently,
Silver
somebody mentioned
Surfer.
that there was a new announcement from Cryptoys. I was just had it pulled up here. I haven't read through it yet. It says the next chapter of Cryptoys is coming. We're hard at work behind the scenes, implementing everything we've learned to bring you an even better overall experience. We've got a ton of exciting things in the works. More features, more partners, more resources and initiatives that we believe will truly. This doesn't really sound like anything important.
It's February 24th.
Oh, somebody said there was a new partnership announced. I don't know. I'll keep digging. Dan K says if Blackpink put a QR code on their giant screen at every concert, they could bring in thousands. 100%. But how can we talk them into doing that? Same idea with putting the Wars code at Disneyland. I mean, yeah, but how do we get them to do that? If they did that, that would be huge. 100%. FSF is in here talking trash about somebody who's not here to defend themselves. How rude. I don't see. Oh. Yeah, I don't see the new partnership. This is pretty cool. That's Ronnie Lido, too. This Pluto they got here, a little tie-dye Pluto. But yeah, I'm not sure what the new partnership is.
Like I said, man, they got cool shit on crypto. I'm not knocking what they got, but I'm just saying, like, very slow rollout. They drop things once every few months. You know.
And I think the games were a little bit of a disappointment, personally.
Well, I mean, they were, you know, it was cool to be like, hey, I can take this thing right out the package. Excuse me, and into the world and run around, you know?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like you said, it's disappointing because, like, well, now what?
Exactly.
Like,
I mean,
give me 12 hours. I'll have a Mario type game where you're collecting coins, you know, dodging obstacles, whatever, in like 12 hours overnight.
Especially with AI, that helps you make it. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, with AI, for sure. But just give me some sort of like sandbox.
All right, I think I'm back, but maybe not Mo. You guys good? Y'all hear me? I don't know what happened. Are we good? Anybody? Hello? You know how it is over here. We have issues. Me? I thought I'm still here. Mo? I'm right here. Did we lose me?
Oh, we're good. Hello?
Hello? I don't know what happened.
Now we're back.
No clue. I tried to load up this crazy Discord server, and they got so much HTML in here, it froze me up. Sorry about that, everybody. I think we're back. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear us. I'm trying to find this new news.
HTML1 Vault 0.
Yeah. Okay, that's that. Here's something about the Zoom FO characters, which I actually have one of those. It's their first drop. I'm still not seeing it. Maybe you can help me out, Dr. Strange. I'm in the announcements. Is it in the SWMF announcements? I'm almost afraid to click on another channel. Yeah, it is a lot of HTML. Yeah, sorry about that. Dan K says, you're back. Vivi announced MCP for comic sets starting tomorrow, and it's not retroactive. Yeah, why would it not be retroactive? Probably because they can't make those calculations. But, yeah, we went over that a second ago. I was telling people about the fact that they now count as sets whenever you have all 5 rarities of a comic, which this could actually come into play with these new modern comics because a lot of them only have 2 rarities to complete the set. So maybe people are going to be picking those up for cheap to get those extra points, 5 points per day for holding the set. I'm waiting to see what Dr. Strange says on what he was trying to get me to find on it. Was it Dr. Strange or no, was it Dan K? Yeah, it was Dr. Strange. I don't check the Cryptoys Discord for that extra updated information. I'm trying. I don't see it. All right.
This is why nobody gets the information they deserve. Because we can't even find it. We're professionals.
All right. If I can't find it, nobody can find it. No, I'm looking.
Imagine Grandma trying to pull this shit up. You know what I mean?
So, Mo, have you been watching any cool shows or movies this week?
Oh, boy. Nah, I'm still on Ancient Aliens. I'm up to season 5. What else? American Idol's back. I didn't know that came back a few weeks ago.
I didn't know they still had that show.
Yeah, apparently they got rid of fucking Katy Perry, and they brought on Carrie Underwood, which I thought I would like, because I like Carrie Underwood. But, I don't know, Katy Perry's fucking nuts. She was funny as hell.
You know why they got rid of Katy Perry, don't you?
She went on tour.
No, she didn't go on tour. She went to the outer space. She just left on
that too. I saw that, yeah. That was funny as shit, by the way.
I think they're in outer space right now.
No, she's back.
Oh, they're back already?
She was up there like 4 minutes. It was like it's like a carnival ride. It shoots you up, and you go just on the outskirts of space,
Oh,
and
is
then
that
it's
what
like you're
that
up there for
is?
4 minutes, and you come back down.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
Well, so here's the thing. She made a post or whatever when she came back. She's like so happy to be. So she was like kissing the ground or something on a video.
Oh yeah.
And people are giving her a hard time. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you send me to space for the first time, you bet your ass I'm kissing the ground when I get back.
Oh, me too, 100%.
That's got to be a wild experience, bro.
Yeah, I'd be scared. 100%, I'd be scared. Dr. Strange says it was in a thread, and they said that Freddie announced his resignation. Do you know who Freddie is?
Yeah, he's like one of the lead artists, I think.
Dang. Apparently, he has resigned from Cryptoids, and the new IP has not been named yet, so they're just teasing that they have a new IP. It could be something big with Cryptoids. They've got Disney and Star Wars and He-Man and who knows what else, so who knows? Could be something big.
Like I said, man, it's the same thing I tell everybody else. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you got a 10-inch hammer between your legs and you're sitting home and you ain't going out using it, the fuck is the point? You have all these IPs in the world, bro. If you're not putting them to good use, especially He-Man. With the gamification, bro, bring on Thundercats, bring on Felix the Cat. I don't know, bring on some old school shit, bro.
They haven't even dropped that He-Man playset yet. That's the thing I was like super excited about, and they've been teasing it for like a long time.
Exactly. Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Just don't talk about it at all, and then just drop it on people out of nowhere. You know, that's how the best things are always done. Like Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew about Fortnite, the Battle Royale. Everybody knew about Fortnite, like the zombie base building shit.
Yeah.
I was testing it for like 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a boring ass fuck. It was okay. It was kind of boring. And then one day, they were just like, hey, we're testing out this Battle Royale thing. Tuned in, saw Ninja and everybody playing it, me and my homie online, you know, we started playing it. Fast forward, 8 years, it's still one of the best games around. You know? I don't play it at all. But still, I'd recognize it's still one of the better, most popular games out.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Call of Duty recently. It's kind of the same type of drop-in situation where you're trying to survive all the other people on the map. Dr. Strange says it's not actually, or it doesn't sound like an IP. It sounds more like of a company merger or acquisition for Cryptoids, which would be really interesting. I wonder who would they merge with. He says
Cryptoids and BB merging.
No, I don't think that's well.
Ha!
I would hope not, but who knows these days? It could happen. All right, the show I've been watching recently, I just watched it this weekend, and it's a 3-part docuseries. That's kind of my thing now on Netflix, watch the docuseries, but this one just came out, and it's called Golden Greed, and then the subtitle is The Hunt for Finn's Treasure. Have you heard of the Finn's Treasure thing?
No.
You haven't heard of
Fill
it? Yeah, well, see, this is more on the West Coast. See, what had happened was there's this rich dude named Finn, Forrest Finn, and Forrest Finn got rich. How did he get rich? He got rich from
Curly's Gold?
no, he got rich from writing books, but he also did something else. But his books also got him rich. So this is some rich dude, right? So he's like a super millionaire, and he found out that he had kidney cancer, and they told him that he had a 1 in 5 chance of surviving more than a year. So at that time, what he decided to do was write a memoir about his life, but he was afraid that nobody would read his memoir. So what he did was he wrote this poem in the memoir, and the poem was clues to this treasure chest that he went out and hid somewhere in the Rocky Mountains that had over $2 million worth of gold nuggets and bracelets of diamonds, all this stuff. So he went and buried this treasure, and this was like back in the late 90s, right? So he buried this treasure, he put out the book, people found out about the book, people started freaking out about it. 4 people died searching for the treasure. It went on for over 10 years, people trying to find this treasure. Let me pull up this so you can see what it looks like. And then somebody did actually find the treasure. But the crazy part about this documentary is in the same way that that book was a map or clues to find this treasure, there's a guy in the documentary who was one of the treasure hunters who didn't find it, but he decided that he was going to use his interview in this documentary as clues to a treasure chest that he hid that also has millions of dollars worth of treasure in it. And he showed some of the stuff that he put in it too, some crazy stuff. I think this is the one that he hid right here. And that one is actually still hidden. And apparently what you have to do is watch the documentary and just pay attention to all the parts of his interview and look at the stuff on his wall. And he says he has all these clues in here to find this treasure. And the documentary itself is really wild because these people like devoted their lives, like tons of people devoted their lives to find these treasures, or to find this treasure that this guy, here he is right here, what he looks like, that he hid. I'm surprised nobody in the chat has heard about it. And they show these one dudes as like a guy and his two sons, and they like live in a trailer park, and they spent like years and years trying to find this treasure. At one point they were 100% sure that it was underneath this big boulder, and they spent 2 years destroying the boulder to get underneath it. And when they finally got underneath it, of course nothing was in there. And there's the other people who like spent years and years trying to find it. It's a pretty good little docu-series if you guys want to check it out. And if you want to search for the treasure cool. yourself, there's actually clues that you can follow to try to find it.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's on Netflix?
Yep, that's on Netflix. You going to the park? Yeah. All right. Kiddo's going to the park.
Be home before the street lights come on.
That's not a thing anymore.
Oh, no?
Kids hardly even go out and play anymore. I'm glad whenever he tells me he's going to go out to the park. It's like, yes, you're getting out of the house. That's awesome. It doesn't happen very often these days.
Beat it.
Yep. All right. Well,
oh, shit, look at this. Oh, no.
What's that?
Get up. Oh, look at it. Oh, man. So close. I almost had a,
Ooh.
I almost had a sandwich.
What's that, where you're in the middle?
My horse just took first, and I almost took first and third. Almost had first and second.
Yeah, I saw where you said you breeded out one of your mares recently really quickly. I mean, it makes me a little bit jealous. If I would have stuck to this, I could have been making money off of my horses.
So actually, the two horses running right here, Screwed Up Dream and Mid Screw, they're actually from that colt that sold out. He sells out, that's like twice in a row, 2 months in a row he sold out within the hour.
Nice.
I just picked up another win. These are claimer races. These are lower end type shit. But these are like horses that didn't really breed well. 3 stars, 2.5, 0.
Right. So you're not worried about someone claiming them and taking them?
Nah, I mean, if they do, they do. And then they give me free data because they run them. You know?
True.
But for now, I put them in here. You know, this one's 5 for 14. And then the other one, actually, that was his first win. He's now 1 for 5. But now I find out he likes 10 furlongs. So there we go. I discovered something.
Right, that's what it's all about. Gathering data.
And I made a few bucks. You know, cost me $4, 320 derby to enter both of them. And I got back about 1,000 derby, 900 derby. So, almost tripled my money.
Nice.
And I got good data. You know, so that's, to me, it's more than worth it.
Are you still streaming over there on Kick?
Yeah, I don't really do much stuff on the official capacity with PFL. I went on a little bit of a tirade. They're not too happy with me. But to be fair, everything I complained about, they reverted the next season, so I wasn't wrong.
Nice.
But maybe I could have went about it a little bit differently. But yeah. But still, you know, still playing, still streaming it when I can. But like I said, man, for me, breeding, understanding what I know about this game, I don't really want to help people that much, to be honest.
Because you've earned that knowledge. You had to work for it.
Yeah, it's like I see new people coming in and people that are like, they might get a lucky horse and think they know something. And they're like telling everybody, like, this is what, you know, temper does. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way that's what temper does. I got all the data that proves against it. But hey, if you want to believe it, that means you're not going to race like me and now I can beat you. You know?
Yep.
My mistake was I didn't buy my way to the top. When I was making all that money, I should have bought the top tier horse, man. You know me, brother. I wanted to say I did it my way, you know?
Yeah, it'd be paying off right now if you did, though.
Yeah, for me, though, it would be like, it would have been so good to be fucking running championship races with my knowledge and the horses I could have bought, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still breeding up. And now I have, like I said, boy named Sue was my original horse. Was number 3 ranked 12 furlong horse at Gen 0 out of all of them. Against S's, you name it.
Nice.
And he was a B. And still, 3rd ranked. It was like the skill rating that they have or whatever. Then I had Kia, who's the highest grossing A- of all time, still in photo finish.
Nice.
Then I had the new one that keeps selling out, 1 Second Screw. He's rated like the number 11 true skill horse, or 13, I think now.
Sheesh.
So and he's an S, and he's up on the list with all these S pluses and like some SS minuses. You know, he's the only S on this fucking true skill list. And all these 3 horses, I basically bred from my own knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my own research.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, they're all left dirt soft, so I can actually piece them together. And when I combine the monster of Kia, Boy Named Sue, and 1 Second Screw at the top, look out. That's going to be insane. So, yeah, I'm not making all that money at these $10,000 races, you know?
Yep.
But I've been in profit for 14 seasons in a row. And I pay my bills with it, and that's all I can really ask for.
Must be nice. Yeah, I need to get back into that. That's good stuff. Yeah, if you guys want to check out Photo Finish Live or watch Mo live stream Photo Finish Live, you can get to his Kick page by following him on Twitter. I've got his X or Twitter account down in the description below. I think that's about all we got for you today, but this is the show that we do every Tuesday, so we'll be back next Tuesday with some more paranormal topics, some more politics, and some more VV information to share with you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I might be live this weekend if there's a good drop. No promises. I might not be. Mo, you got anything special planned for this weekend? Just recovering?
Still recovering, man. Like I said, I still have I still can't get the bottoms in, so I'm like Ugh. I've been doing 2 weeks now with only fucking top teeth, no bottom teeth. It's kind of wild.
Dang, sounds wild.
Yeah. I haven't had a cheeseburger or anything solid in 2 weeks.
It's rough.
And I'm dying for a fucking steak.
That's probably gonna be a while before you can get to something like that. Shout out to Biggest Bros in the chat. Good to see you, my man. We're just wrapping up here, but we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for hanging out. Not a good drop this weekend. That figures. Maybe I'll just live stream just to be hanging out, because I haven't live streamed in a couple weeks. Any BB drops, so I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Shout out to MoKnowz for co-hosting, even though he's going through a little bit of recovery and some pain. Matt Murdock. I never even heard of Matt Murdock. Isn't he part of the A-Team? Maybe that's a different Murdock. Oh, no Daredevil suit.
Oh, Daredevil. I'm like Murdock.
There is a Murdock in the A-Team. That'd be even a better drop, honestly, than this. Apparently, it's a Daredevil without his suit on.
You think the guy was like, I love when a good plan comes together.
Right, yeah, with a cigar. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. We will see you soon.